she knew that when that guy made it through the first door, not to let him in the first place. She knew to call 911. When that truck started coming through, she screamed, and she got all of us out of the building. Anne Arundel County Executive John Leopold is found guilty on 2 counts of misconduct in office. Kurt also told us there's a lot of damage to the sidewalk down there. It doesn't take a transgender to look at that video and really just react in absolute disgust. Police now say Vincent Davis has other victims, and they are asking them to call in. And so many people out here will go to bed with the image of a plane going into the water. They're back to the scene of the crime to finish the job they left. The ARC Baltimore is friends with ABC2 News on any given day, but Tuesday, May 13th was exceptional. They started landscape work around 8 in the morning, and just as they were finishing up, the 5-man crew got caught up in the evacuation order. In fact, Michael Cashwell was closer to the suspect than any of us. Take a look at our surveillance video. Cashwell was in the vestibule with Vladimir Baptiste, who police identify as the suspect, as he was screaming to let him in.
So Mike, you was going to use the bathroom, right? Yeah? What happened? Was the guy at the door?
Yes, this is.
What was he saying?
Open the door.
You saying open the door?
Open the door.
Was he yelling?
Yes.
Rich Rattray was the supervisor on staff. With intellectual and developmental disabilities, his crew can have more anxiety during an emergency, but they managed to stay calm.
Yes.
Did you talk to him at all?
No.
Did he talk to you?
No.
Did he say anything?
No.
As Cashwell got away quickly, the ARC staff sheltered with us for hours.
And they just kind of started moving us around the school building into the church building just to kind of stay there and be safe. I guess at that point they didn't know if the gentleman was armed.
Even though he had some anxiety about some things, he felt completely safe because Rich's leadership was amazing.
The ARC Baltimore followed along with our evacuation plan, and fortunately Cashwell knew it wasn't the right time to get inside. Was it scary?
Yes, this is.
Supervisors with the ARC Baltimore are planning a celebration for their employees. They tell me they will be back next week as well. They didn't seem too rattled by what happened out here yesterday. We're live right outside the studios. Cheryl O'Connor, ABC2 News. It's not often we get this close to police work. Thanks to a survivor of sex trafficking who shared her story with us, police took us along as they took down people who pay for sex. You're watching lives change quickly.
Police, get your hands up.
We're just one step behind detectives as they close in on a problem you may never think about, but it could be happening right next door.
You're looking for a half hour or an hour?
It's a business, and sex always sells. In our previous report, you heard from a woman who was picked up off these same city streets and was sold for sex across the country.
They call it turning out. Get you ready to do whatever for $1. Make sure you make those dollars.
Tonight, police want to make a dent on the demand. Sergeant Jennifer Rollhauser created the ad that landed us right here. Johns would call from the lobby. Technology allowed a group of detectives to watch from their room and go in once a deal was made. Do you think officers easily overlook trafficking in the past?
I think so, yes.
Why so?
Because they didn't know, they didn't think it was here. And I think that the officers here that didn't have the training, they didn't know what human trafficking was. When you said human trafficking, they thought of a different country. It wasn't right here in the United States. It wasn't right here in Baltimore City.
But it is, and this is how it happens. The setup, according to Captain Suzanne Fries, mirrors how pimps make their money when prostitution is forced. That's why in the past year, all 2,700 police officers have been trained on the signs of trafficking.
I think we're seeing it more because we know what to look for.
These guys were just looking for a good time, not thinking the women they met could be forced by a pimp.
Anything on you sit down, sharp knives, needles, weapons. No, sir.
There is shame that comes with getting busted paying for sex. Dressed in camouflage, this guy couldn't hide. Police say 21-year-old John Schwabline III from Glen Burnie called for a night to remember. Instead, he'll wonder how long he'll be behind bars.
Am I going to jail? Give me your hand.
What's he got?
You just dropped something.
Okay, we got it.
43-year-old Antonio Stack responded to the ad on Backpage.com put up by police. 2 counts of solicitation of prostitution are now on his record. Undercover female detectives can add actress to their credentials.
Before, yeah, I got my girl here with me.
One after another, different ages, different races, different reasons.
Mire, señor, yo no he dicho nada.
Drugs, money, condoms, cell phones are now court evidence.
Over here. What was you doing?
A detective recognized Dwayne Hicks from a past arrest.
Just can't chillin' with the females, man.
His idea of chillin' could be a woman's nightmare. To the Johns, dropping cash may seem like a drop in time. To those answering the call, it could be another night of torture.
At the end of the day, I think 50% of them would like to not do that every day. They do want some kind of help to get out.
Now, what about the women? People don't necessarily want to pursue a career in prostitution.
Well, you heard Captain Fries. They're saying 50%. That doesn't mean they're all being trafficked, that 50%. It means that they could be supporting a drug habit. They could be homeless. But there is a large percentage of people who are prostitutes who don't want to be there. That's what they're finding. Those are the signs that police officers have been training to know over the past year. A propane leak caused an explosion at a business in Carroll County yesterday, sending 2 women to the hospital. The state fire marshal's office says the leak happened in the basement. It took almost 14 years and a jailhouse confession to arrest Stephen Cook Jr., who has been living in Pasadena. Police think money motivated him and 2 others to kill his girlfriend. Just what homicide detectives and the community always suspected. Police now say this guy, 43-year-old Stephen Cook Jr., was behind the killing of his girlfriend. The new link, according to charging documents, comes from a jailhouse confession from a hired hitman. Neighbors on Codd Avenue in Dundalk remember that day almost 14 years ago.
All I know is that everybody said it was probably him.
What we knew on April 20th, 2000, Heidi Bernadzikowski had her throat sliced. She was found dead in her home. Court papers say Cook hired a man from Colorado, Alexander Bennett, to fly to Baltimore to do the killing. Bennett was arrested in January 2012. This week, ahead of his trial, he told investigators he pointed to a picture of Cook, saying he asked him to kill the victim for money.
The detectives believe that the life insurance policy was a motive in this case.
The $700,000 life insurance policy was taken out on the victim just over 2 months before her death. Bennett was connected by DNA traced to the victim's fingernails. Detectives say there wasn't sufficient evidence to arrest Cook until now. We went back to the Dundalk home where Ashley Frederick just learned about the murder at her home. She says it's no wonder her 4-year-old daughter can't sleep.
I always ask her why, and she's always saying she's scared. And honestly, now that I know that some woman got murdered here, I do believe in spirits and stuff like that. So, I mean, that lady, you know, she could be still lingering around. She says somebody's looking in her window, but she's on the 2nd floor. So nobody could be looking in her window.
The charging documents say Cook dropped his girlfriend off knowing the killer had come in before her. Bennett told investigators he grabbed her by the throat, choked her, and then cut her throat to make sure she was dead.
I can't believe I'm living in a murder house. I seriously cannot believe some woman got stabbed up here.
A judge denied Stephen Cook Jr. bail today, even as his attorney made a plea that he is respected in the community. Cook is charged with first-degree murder along with Alexander Bennett. Police say a 3rd guy, Grant Lewis, organized the killing through email from Colorado. He's charged with conspiracy to commit murder. As for Ashley Frederick, she doesn't plan on moving, but she thinks she knows why. Her daughter refuses to sleep alone. Cheryl Connor, ABC 2 News.